Hey copycat quilters, welcome back to my channel. This is my favorite time of year and it reminds me of when I was a little girl watching those classic holiday movies.
Happy birthday!
And happy birthday! Yes, it's my birthday, December 8th, and it's one of my favorite days to celebrate. So if you want to give me a little birthday present, please click on the subscribe button below, like the video, comment, all those things. It really helps YouTube think my videos are interesting, and I hope you think so too. Now, what you probably came here for was Quiltmas. So there are 12 days and 12 content creators, and we're each making a project along the theme of stars. And today I have made a quilt that is based on my new pattern release. Well, my first pattern release called Starry Daze. But today I'm making Starry Nightz. So I'm going to show you some of the techniques that I use, and one of the lucky viewers is going to win this quilt. So what you have to do is watch all 12 videos, listen for the secret word, it's a color, and at the end of the contest, on the 12th, you will get a link for a Google Doc. You go in and put all 12 of those words, and you'll be entered to win one of the projects from one of the creators. It's really exciting to see what's already happened before, and tomorrow, December 9th, we get to see what Joe Carmel put together. All of the instructions will be in the description below, including some links to some of the things I referenced in the video. My quilt is not red and green. I'm not wearing red or green. My quilt is blue and yellow, but you'll have to listen to find out what my secret word is. So stick around till the end of the video, and thanks for watching. So I'm so excited to show you what I got. I reached out to Ladyfingers out in Ole, Pennsylvania. They are my go-to source for fast shipping on AccuQuilt products, but Gail is also a designer of a line of fabrics called Dimples. So I reached out and asked her if she would share some with me for my Starry Nightz quilt, and she did. So let's take a look. I love this Dimples fabric because it comes across as a neutral or a blender, I guess you would say, but it's not flat. It's low volume, but it also has enough texture and enough movement that it really brings it kind of to life. And it's also not directional. So I went through my scrap bin and I went through my fat quarters and my charm squares, and I've tried to pick up some of the things that were yellows and brights to go along with those neutrals for my stars. And anything that was a 2.5 inch wide strip I can use because I'm making those 9 patches. And then I had some wider strips of things, and I'm going to need squares at least about 6 inches square to cut those triangle pieces. And I was thinking if I don't have enough of the scraps to do that, or I don't have big enough scraps, I may do some crumb piecing and then cut those triangles out of that because I really want it to be scrappy. And the more fabrics I use, the more variety I use, the scrappier it will look, but you won't focus on any single fabric then. So I've got these picked out for my yellows. I also went through my stash and found this layer cake, and these are called Into the Navy Carrot Gems by Wilmington Fabrics. I don't know how long I've had it, and it's one of those ones I look at and I'm like, why did I buy this? They're all very similar. They are different prints, but they're very, very similar. And I like that it's a dark on a dark background, and I think this will be great for the backgrounds. So I'm hoping I have enough of this. It's a layer cake worth. And then I also have some other blue scraps, like these that I might use. I just want to, not these. I want to stay very close to the dark blues in this. I think that would make a nice consistency for the background. And then if all else fails, I have some blue grunge from Fat Quarter Shop. That is another thing that's been laying around in my stash forever. And this looks like a lot. So this might be great for like borders, or if I'm going to use it for the backing. So now I need to start pressing some things and start cutting. So I saw this technique on YouTube and I thought it was really interesting. I hadn't seen it before, and it's how to use layer cakes to make 9 patches. So I have here 2 squares, 2 10-inch squares. So I'm going to place my fabrics right sides together. And the first thing I'm going to do, which seems really counterintuitive, is sew a 1/4 inch seam down both sides. So only down the sides, not across the top and bottom. So here are my 2 layer cake squares, and I've sewn them together on the 2 sides. And I'm going to cut 2.5 inch strips from this.
So let me lay this down.
Have I mentioned that my secret color is green?
1, 2.5. I always have to count on these because I have one ruler that has the extra 1/2 inch and it messes me up all the time. So I'll cut this side, spin it around, cut this side. And now I'm going to take this remaining piece and do the same thing. So 1/4 inch on each side. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. Cut 2.5 inch, and you get to see how accurate your cutting is whenever you do this, because it should be 2.5 and 2.5. Oops. And if I measured this one, oh, 2.5. So now I have 4 strips that are sewn together. Now I would go now and take another layer cake and cut 2.5 inch strips, just not sewing it or anything, because I'm going to need some with the yellow on the corners and or on each side of the strip, and I'm going to need some where the blue is on each side of the strip. And I need twice as many of those with the yellow on the corners as I do the blue on the corners. Let me show you what I mean by that. So this is the 9 patch that I'm making, and I have my light colors on the corners. So I'm going to need 2 strips that are blue with yellow on each side, and then I'm going to need 1 strip that has yellow in the center. And to do that, then I need a strip to sew, a yellow strip to sew on this one, and then a blue strip to sew on this one. But I need twice as many of those with the blue in the middle. So I'm going to cut my other layer cakes and then go sew those strips. And then you would put this together just like a 9 patch that you sewed with the fabric scraps.
So I got my 9 patches made, I have my triangles made, and now I'm starting to sew together my units. Assembling these blocks is the most difficult part of making this quilt, so in my instructions I have put units for you to make, and then you make those units and follow the layout, and it becomes easy peasy. Then you take those units and assemble them into rows, and follow the layout again, start sewing the rows up to each other, and you end up with the Starry Daze quilt. You may have seen my video already, I'll link it below, but I use my serger with fusible thread in the lower looper, and it makes it so easy to press your binding over. It holds in place long enough for you to take it to your sewing machine and stitch it down. And it's really nice to make beautiful mitered corners and have everything just so easy to take to the machine. So just a few more minutes of running that binding through the sewing machine and we're ready for the big reveal.
So what do you think? I love this quilt. I think just like a lot of the other creators, I might have to go make a version for myself because I hate to give it away so much. But one of you lucky viewers will win it if you collect all of the secret words from all 12 videos. And at the end of the contest on the 12th, we'll put links in the descriptions for the Google Doc that you need to go fill out. And then a day or 2 later, there will be a live where the winners will be announced, and all of that will be included in the descriptions too. This quilt turned out so pretty. It's a great scrap buster. I made this one with scraps and pieces and leftover things out of my stash. This is a great leader ender project because you can make those strips and those 9 patches, and you can cut those things, keep them in a bin, and just every now and then pull it out. That's what I did to make my triangle blocks and then my 9 patches, and just kept the project kind of going on the side. If you're interested in the pattern, it's on my website, gingertquiltco.com, and of course it'll be in the notes below. And for Quiltmas, I'm actually giving a special discount, so until December 12th, you can get the pattern 30% off. Please enjoy all the rest of the creators. I know I have loved watching the videos, and I am caught up, so I'm looking forward to Joe's tomorrow. And I hope you all have wonderful holidays and get to celebrate the things and the people that you enjoy. Thanks, and come back again.
Happy birthday!